793 AD, the great monastery at Lindisfarne was attacked and destroyed, and the monks there put to death. This was the first recorded raid by the wild Northmen, known as the Vikings. Over the years, their raids increased, and it soon became clear that they intended to stay. More and more came over in their longships to take this rich land by the sword.
Oh boy!
Uncle, stop!
Never touch a man's sword without his permission. It's the most precious thing he possesses. You know better than that.
Sorry, Uncle.
That's all right, boy. Do you remember when your father was killed in battle? Well, actually, you're probably a bit young then. Anyway, his sword was the greatest of his many possessions buried with him. A sad day, still. When I was given my sword by my father, what a day. At the time, I was only 12 years old, but I really felt I'd become a man. Of course, the sword was heavy, but I was so excited. Go on, Hakon. Have a go if you want to.
Really?
Just be careful.
Have you killed many people with this?
Oh, a few of the enemy have felt the sharp sting of corpse maker. I remember a very famous battle. It's quite a few years ago now. I think we came on shore with about 100 men, and there facing us were 1,000 Saxons.
How many?
Well, they outnumbered us anyway. And they had their spears bristling and their helmets shining in the sun.
Come on, get on with the game.
Oh, well, anyway, they were great days. Sadly missed.
Your turn.
Still, I suppose as you get older, you have to settle down and enjoy the other things in life, like feasting, drinking.
That's all you're good for.
I did my fair share when our family first came to live here.
What do you mean?
Well, we had to find somewhere to live.
Because we burnt all the Saxon houses down.
We hadn't burnt all of them down.
Most of them.
We had to choose the best land, and then we had to start to build our houses.
Yo, Gunnar, leave centres. Could you take that log and take it down to the new building over there? Yeah.
It was hard work chopping down trees and making them into beams and planks for the walls. And once we'd finished that, we had to carry them into the village, and we all set to putting them together to make our homes. Of course, there were some people who didn't want to help. We had a way of dealing with them. The roofs were covered with thatch made from straw and sedge, and to stop them blowing off in the wind, we hammered in stakes. When everything was finished, we decorated them with carvings. While all this was going on, we had to raise crops so we could all keep fed. Crops for bread,
Ale.
vegetables, cereal. We also brought animals over with us that needed to be tended. They provided us with meat, wool, leather.
You stole most of yours.
Those animals were left running wild.
Anyway, I did the most important job, making and mending all the tools in my smithy. We couldn't have survived without me.
Rubbish. Firstly, you're no good at your job.
If you're not careful, I'll eat you.
And secondly, you don't need metal for everything. Bone will do, and it's cheaper. I can make all sorts of things out of bone and antler. For instance, hammers, rakes, needles,
Dice,
arrows, pendants,
toothpicks.
whistles and flutes, and perhaps most importantly, combs to keep your lice out of your hair. And what about leather?
Hello, Harold. Any chance of fixing this?
Come back tomorrow.
All right. I'll see ya.
If you don't have a good pair of shoes, or a belt to hold your kirtle, or a sheath to hold your knife, I mean, how would you get on?
Anyway, I don't care what you say. I am the most important person in this village.
Oh! What about us women? Who do you think was here looking after the farm while you were off raiding? Who do you think looked after the children and defended our farmstead against wild animals and all the thieves? What do you think we were doing while you were away? Now, don't you go listening to their stories. You need common sense to get through this life, and we women have got more than our fair share of it. I saw that. You men take so much for granted. What do you think goes into making the clothes that you wear? Once you've got the wool, you've got to spin it into yarn, dye it, weave it on the loom, and then sew it into clothes. And with the size of you, that's a lot of sewing.
Shut up, woman!
And who do you think's preparing the food and the ale for the banquet tonight?
I suppose they do have their uses. But when you spin your wool, who makes the spindle whirl? And when you're cooking, who makes the bowl? A wood turner, and he's a man. He's working all day at his pole lathe, sun beating down on him, the dust choking him, his foot aching.
The only thing that's going to be aching is your head if you keep going on like that.
Hello, Freydis. Good day, Otter.
Oh,
Still arguing with the sea?
No, we're just peacefully discussing a point.
Perfect good day.
Who's that?
Didn't you see him in the village earlier?
No. Must have been out fishing.
Ah, that's Schoolie. He's the trader.
Ah, greetings. Ah, this for my lady. Is this Amber? It is Amber. Is this true, Amber? It's true.
He goes from village to village trading his goods. We give him what we have plenty of in return for things that we really need. I made a good trade today. Got this lovely silver brooch for 20 of my combs. Look at the workmanship on that. I bet Freydis got some salt for the banquet tonight. Of course, the other thing he brings are these wonderful, strange stories.
What? Even better than yours?
Don't be so cheeky. Actually, I think he's about to start one over there. If you strain your ears, you'll probably hear it.
Hear now a tale of warrior kings in days gone by. Grim warriors, battle-stained war scythes, clash before Odin's fire. Spear storm, shield thunder. The sons of men grow bold before the clash of metal doom. One thing I do know, cattle die, warriors die. The time on earth of each one of us is numbered. He who may should seek fame before he dies. The deed of great men are always remembered.
Mummy, don't throw it so far. Mummy, look what I found.
What have you got now?
What's this, Mummy?
I don't know. We'll have to find out about it.